Hi YouTubers. Hey, I just wanted to do a little follow-up review on my Ozark Trail 52 quart cooler. Had a bit of an incident with it. I went down to Oregon to see the eclipse, and I used one of those hitch rack thingies, and I set it a little too close to the exhaust, so it's got warped, and it's got a little footprint in it if you can see it there. I used a rasp like this to shave it off, and it seems to come smooth, but I still got a bit of a lump there, which doesn't seem to affect the performance, but it's just a blemish. It doesn't look pretty on the bottom anymore, but that's okay. Also today I'm going to take the feet, these things, and reverse them. I get a little bit tired of trying to drag it in and out of my car, and the rubber grabs the rubber mat in the back of my SUV, and I have to lift it every time. So I think if I reverse the feet, they should be easier to slide around in the back of the car. Interesting. There's a little bit of foam in there with little tiny holes. I don't know if you can quite see that. Probably can't. Let me see if I can show you. See, there's two of them there. Interesting. Ooh, this one's even uglier. Look at that. This must be where they spray the foam into the cooler when they have it in manufacturing process. Yeah, it's the same deal with the other two. Well, it's definitely easier to slide around on wood, so hopefully the back of the car will be the same thing. I'm finding these things right here, they seem to be showing some signs of wear. I know it's pretty easy to replace them on Amazon. Here, maybe I'll try to show you. Yeah, you can probably see that pretty good there now. It's starting to wear. What I can do about that, it's just by design, I guess. Let's see this one over here. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. The inside of the cooler, no signs of warping in there. It's right about here, and I don't feel anything, so I guess we're okay. We've taken this cooler on a cross-country trip to Washington, D.C. and South Carolina. It got left in a hot car many times. It got left for a couple days in a hot garage in South Carolina where the temperatures were at least 90 degrees, very humid, and ice retention was just awesome the whole time. Unlike some other reviewers, I haven't had any problems with the drain plug leaking, and I haven't really noticed much condensation either, so it could be just the environment that I'm using it in. It's been relatively dry most of the time. And so we just haven't had that condensation issue. No leaking inside my car or anything like that. Interesting. I don't know if you can see the scratches on the side of the cooler there, but it's probably happened when I had this outside of the car on the hitch rack, and it was just swaying in the wind. It scratched up the side. These handles have been holding up really good. Probably my only complaint about those is that they tend to slide. I don't know if you can quite focus on that from one side to the other. So see how this side doesn't have the pipe inside the strapping sticking out, but this one does right here. You have to slide the handles to center those once in a while. So sometimes when we're carrying the cooler with two people, one person will complain that they're a little bit off center, especially when there's a heavy load. You want to be sure and dry off the straps whenever you use it. As you can see, I got a little bit of rust going. So obviously these things are not stainless. Not that they claimed that they were, but it's probably a good idea for those to be stainless in such a location on a cooler. Small issue with the hinge. If you can see, the hinge pins there is starting to slide out. I'll have to tap that back in. The other side appears fine, and you can see where right here the hinge pin should be showing more right there. So it's probably into about here. The bottle opener, it's a little bit loose, but I'm not going to try and tighten it. I'm just going to leave it as is and see what happens. I've used it a few times. It's been great. It's real handy because I can never seem to find my bottle opener when I need it.